And the biking tour of Suffolk continues with a crumbling coastline, a doomed church, and quiet country roads. Halesworth to Southwold via Covehithe and not Wrentham. Halesworth is a small town with a laundrette, which is very important when you're biking. I stayed at the Angel, which was right in town. It looks like they have 2 hotels and a rail station. It's a bigger place than the previous night. Okay, now I don't know whether this is actually filming or not. I'm going to hold this. This is my GoPro. Here comes a car. That's a problem. Okay, get on the bike, little girl. I had brought the GoPro hoping to do some filming because the scenery was nice and there were some interesting bits, but there was no mount on that bike. There was no way to actually put it on, so I had to hold it. But I did want to do some filming so that I could prove that I was actually on the bike, biking in Suffolk. I love these little signs. I saw them on several of the roads that I was on. Quiet lane, and then quiet lane ends, and I guess, well, you're on your own. Okay, so here I am at a crossroads. Now, further back there, I saw a sign that said Beccles 5. So I guess it's 5 miles to Beccles. But here is Wrentham, 3.5. That's very exciting because that's where my grandparents came from. And I wish I could get closer on it. Okay, there's a close-up of it. 3.5 miles. And guess what? I'm not going there. It's too far on this big, heavy bike. Oh my gosh, what was that? There's horses over there in the field. But wait, there's horses. Now this is kind of interesting. There's the signpost, and then there's some sort of memorial here with these benches that are covered in grass and overgrown and stuff. It's some sort of memorial. It's very interesting. Now on the other side of that grassy triangle in the woods was this little church, and had I gone further I probably could have seen it. So here we have another sign. Wrentham is this way on the B1127, and over there we have, oh, I guess it's to the left. Anyways, we have Beccles on the B1127. Not sure which way I'm going, if I'm going on the B1127. There's a lot of cars around here. Okay, you wouldn't think so because it's really, I only saw one on the road that I was on. Oh, look at that, there's an old church back there. I wonder what that's about. Anyways, I'm taking a picture of this lovely thatched roof cottage, but there's too much traffic. Here I am at Covehithe, whatever. Big old church with a little church inside. And apparently, Mom's grandparents are buried here. I don't know where, and I could search around and find out. There's a lot of old tombstones here. I think there's more. I think there's a different graveyard over on the other side, perhaps. Covehithe is the village. St. Andrew's is the church and graveyard. The village dates back to Roman occupation and then Anglo-Saxon settlements. There was a quay or dock here in the Middle Ages. The original St. Andrew's Church dates from the 14th century and was built from the money made in trade, possibly of wool. They could afford a large church then, but by 1672, the economy had tanked and the locals could no longer afford a big church. They took off the roof and built a smaller church inside. A vandal of the Civil War came and smashed the stained glass of the larger church. The churchyard is said to be haunted by a headless female ghost. So now I've got you wanting to visit the place, don't I? Covehithe is falling into the sea at 4.5 meters per year due to erosion. The prediction is that the church will be gone within 50 years. The authorities are doing nothing to save the area, although there certainly are methods. I mean, ask the Dutch about keeping back the sea. But if you follow the money, and you always should, Southwold has a bigger tourist economy. It's 4 miles south, and the authorities are sacrificing Covehithe for Southwold. I think it should be possible to save both towns, but the joke may be on them eventually if Southwold falls into the sea too. So this is the graveyard outside on one side of the church, and as you can see, the stones are so overgrown. The only ones that are cared for are the ones from the 1980s. There's all sorts of stuff in here, but it's all weeds. Maybe if you came in the middle of like the winter and everything was dead, you might be able to find something, but I don't know where they are. When I got home, I found online pictures of Frederick and Mary Ann's tombstones that are supposedly in St. Andrew's graveyard, but I didn't find them. I tired of the gravestone game, and I went in search of tea and cakes in Southwold. But that will have to wait for my next video. I'll take you all around and tell you all about it. Coming soon!